I'm editing this video that you are watching right now in my new travel trailer. It's kind of like a metaphysical circular experience we're having. New travel trailer, did I say? Yes, I sold the little Springdale and I bought a Grand Design Imagine. It's a little bit longer, a little bit wider, a little bit taller. You're gonna hear that again later on in this video. Why did I buy this Grand Design Imagine? Because my youngest daughter bought a Grand Design Reflection fifth wheel. My oldest daughter bought a Grand Design Imagine travel trailer with bunk beds. So I bought this Imagine travel trailer by Grand Design for June and I. So now the three of us can travel together to the owners' rallies, which are a lot of fun, cross country. I don't know when I'll be able to do that because I'm busy building vans. It's been a minute since we spoke, eh? All right, business at hand, business at hand. The Midi-Me, Midi-Me 01 is back in the Humble Road shop and I'm putting it up for sale. That's right, Radio Man. We built this Midi-Me for Radio Man. You all know Radio Man. He's a longtime friend of mine. He's actually responsible for giving Humble Road the boost it needed to hit the airwaves. There's a video that talks about that, and I'll link it in the description. However, right now, I want you to watch this video on the Midi-Me. It is a super luxurious solo traveler. It fits in your garage. It's easy to drive. It's got a Mercedes gasoline engine. It's easy to service. It's a beauty. And we did an exemplary job, if I don't mind saying so. So watch the video and we'll talk later. The Mercedes Metris, the Midi-Me. It's not a Mini-Me, it's a Midi-Me. I told you about this months ago when I introduced this very van to you in a quick video. How you doing? What is this? This isn't a Mini-Me. It's taller, it's wider, it's longer. The Midi-Me, the Metris, is a little bit longer, a little bit wider, a little bit taller than a Mini-Me. The Mini-Me is on the Ram ProMaster City. The Midi-Me is on the Mercedes Metris. This is our most prominent feature in this build. We've certainly taken the workmanship up a notch on these economy entry-level vans. We cannot help ourselves. Now the Midi-Me's, the Midi-Me's, the Maxi-Me's, they're getting the same kind of quality treatment and over-the-top treatment that our custom vans get. That's just the way we have to do things. So here is your toilet. This is not a composting toilet. It is not a black tank toilet. You use commode bags, okay? You put a bag in this container. You put in kitty litter, you put in horse bedding, you put in coconut core, you put in your gel powder, whatever you want to use. You use the toilet, you bag it up, you get rid of it. The way we design this, it's totally hidden. It's a fully functional storage unit. We put a little travel lip around the top edge so we can put a basket here, or you could just put your clothing bag here, a duffel bag. You have an adjustable shelf, right? Nice. The way it's designed again with that lip is the lid fits on that shelf like a shoebox lid would fit. This fits right around that perimeter, held in place with magnets, ditto on the bottom. Fits like a shoebox. Really nice. Really turned out well. This is a gorgeous piece. We love it. The very first Humble Road custom-made toilet. I told you we were going to make one. We have made a few since this one. However, if you don't think you want that toilet because it takes up so much of your garage space, we can pull that toilet out, and then you can have another little toilet that goes under the bed, out of the way. And that will afford you all of this garage space to bring your stuff with you. So keep that in mind. When we build a Humble Road van camper, we back it up, first of all, back up our workmanship. Secondly, we can alter it, modify it. We could do whatever you want. I'm now adding little personal fire extinguishers, 2 of them per vehicle, and I'm just leaving them here. I want the owners to place these where they feel comfortable. It's got to be intuitive for them, not where I put it. When a fire starts and the emergency starts and your adrenaline is pumping, are you really going to say, now, where did George put those fire extinguishers? No, you put them where you instinctively want to go and grab them, one at each end. First aid kit right there. And again, look at the Galley. It's our classic Galley, but we lengthened it. We made this Galley longer. So this Galley in the Midi-Me is deeper and longer than what you get in the Mini-Me. All the same features. You've got your cup tree for dish soaps and toothpaste and whatnot. You've got your pull-out faucet, really slick, contemporary look. Same gorgeous dark sink, very deep. Comes with a draining screen and a cutting board, recessed cutting board. And then, of course, we have our filtered UV water. So this means that from your freshwater tank on board, 14 gallons of fresh, it's filtered and it's disinfected with UV. You can drink this water and you can cook with this water. This water you use to do your dishes and wash your hair. Big counter space. This owner is not using an induction cooker or a stove in any manner. He decided he wanted a microwave oven. That's how he's going to do all his cooking as he travels. So rather than the drawers, we put this little microwave oven in place. And if you had to get behind this microwave to get to the plumbing or any of the electrical, our side panels pop out. They're magnetized. You pop out both sides. You undo 3 screws, and the whole microwave carcass can slide out. You do your work, you slide it back in. Very simple. Magnets are great as long as you do them right. This panel, same thing. This is a removable panel, so we can get at the components that are behind it. Snaps back in. How easy is that? Here we have our recessed selector switch. In the Mini-Me's, we had a regular wall switch that you're used to seeing in your house. It's called a 3-way switch, and that would run the outlets or the water heater. In this van, we've got the outlets, the water heater, and a microwave. So I have a 3-position AC switch. When it's over here, the microwave is hot, the water heater and the receptacle are not. You switch to the next position, the microwave and receptacles are dead, but the water heater works. You get the idea. The reason for this is we've got a 3,000 watt inverter, which is a very generous inverter. The Xantrex XC Pro 3000. It's a great inverter. Very generous. However, it has its limits. So if you were running the microwave and you called for warm water through the electric water heater, you'd exceed the capacity of the inverter. Ditto the receptacle. If you're running a heat gun, a blow dryer, you get the idea. So with this switch, we are able to isolate the individual circuit that you want to use without mistakenly using any of the other 2. It's foolproof. Our Galley shelf, our Galley hutch has been refined once more. This is a design now that we are going to stay with. It's very clean and simple. And in this case, we are celebrating the combination of the wood species and the 80/20. Looks great. The mirror. We always include this lighted mirror. Here's one thing I got to tell you. When you buy a Humble Road van, you become an ambassador for Humble Road. And we want you looking as good as you can possibly look. The bedroom. 33 inches wide, 78 inches long, as opposed to 27 inches wide by 70 inches long in the Midi-Me. So a much bigger bed. Again, we're dealing with all the rest of the people that don't fit in a Midi-Me. The Midi-Me is for you. This is a futon mattress from the Futon Shop in San Francisco. I highly recommend them. They are very comfortable. They're all organic. They're hypoallergenic. You can zip these covers off and wash them. And they're very expensive, but they're worth it. They're really good mattresses. Custom made. This bed goes up and down just like in the Midi-Me. I am working on electric actuators, just haven't perfected that yet, so we'll stick with the manual up and down. You've got your iPad right here, and we gave you a USB right here for the iPad, a place for your glasses or a remote or your iPhone. And then, of course, all the way here, we have the physical plant. In the physical plant, we have your Xantrex XC Pro 3000 inverter. We've got the Lithionics 320 amp lithium battery over here. I just want to break in here again to mention something. A lot of people have commented that they're a little concerned about having all this electronics right under their pillow when they're sleeping in that bed at night. Now, I personally know that all of this stuff is shielded and protected, and you have got far greater risk using this cell phone alongside your head. However, in order to appease those of you with second thoughts, because this is what we do at Humble Road, if you notice right up here, you see these brown slots here. Those slots are ventilation slots in the bedboards. That brown is what's called a Faraday cloth. It's a metal infused fabric that we put in place to block any of these radio waves that may be emitting from this area. Although they're not, I want to make some people put their minds at ease so they can sleep tight in the camper. I might also add that you could sleep at either end. So if you don't believe me, or you want to further beat this dead horse, put your head down the other end. If you want to do that, I'll even throw in another set of recliners down that end. I've got a little small distribution block here with positive fuses and the negative bus. Here's our big bus bar with a fuse that goes to the inverter. There's a terminal fuse coming off the battery. Solar, all my breakers are on this backside. I've got this set up in such a way that I'll be able to service, or anybody will be able to service any part of this system very easily. It's all accessible, easy in, easy out. On the outside of physical plant, it's similar to what we do in the Midi-Me's. We have a Victron Orion smart charger. This is 30 to 35 amps of charging while you drive the vehicle. Off the vehicle alternator charges your house battery. I have a 40 amp fuse off the battery. It comes through this Victron, goes to another breaker here, and then it hits the bus bar. I have redundant safety on both sides of every device. Victron solar controller. I've got 200 watts of solar on the roof. That solar comes down to a 30 amp breaker. Then it hits the solar controller, then it hits a breaker, then it hits the bus bar. Safety on both sides of every device. Good solid wiring with ferrules. I always use ferrules where it's appropriate. My two shut-offs, one for the main battery and one for the inverter. The Metris has this little step here, so we left that open, and you can certainly use this for storage, and you can access some of the storage under the bed from this side as well. One of my favorite parts of the van build is central command. We put that down the end of the galley here. In the Metris, we did things a little differently. Normally, I would put all of my fuses over here in physical plant and run a nice big harness of wires under the floor and up into this box, all fused over there. Can't do that in the Metris. The Metris floor is flat and solid all the way down the line. There's nowhere to run a wire unless I went under the van, across and back through the floor. I'm not doing that. So I had to run one big line across and down. This switch panel has individual resettable breakers for each of these lines. Perfect. So that's what we did this time. You got your lights, you got your water pump, UV lights, right? That's all there. Resettable, very nice and clean. Sent one big line over, branched out over here rather than over there. Xantrex inverter. This is your panel for the Xantrex. This is an app on your phone as well. Lithionics, the battery people, they have an app on the phone and they have this gauge here. You can control the whole thing from right here. Rather than the sight tube when you're filling your water tank, I went with a gauge. This is the gauge we put in our big custom vans. I got rid of the sight tube. I put a gauge in. It's very accurate. This is your water fill. I did something different in this van. Rather than having to run a hose to this fill, I've got a second water pump in this Galley. The first water pump is for your fresh water to the sink. The second water pump is to suck the water into the fresh tank. So you come out of the market with a shopping cart full of jugs of water or maybe a 5-gallon jug. I've got a 2-gallon per minute pump. You put the hose in here with a sediment filter on it. You put the other end of the hose in the jug, press the button, it sucks it right in, fills your tank for you. And of course, with all of these A-cores, there's going to be a little dribble of water, so be ready for that. Have a USB here, USB-A, USB-B, USB-C, whatever the hell we have. There's 2 different types there. This receptacle is a GFCI protected receptacle. The main one is on the other side of this Galley. Another nice feature in this Midi-Me is the swivel seat up front. That's right, the passenger seat swivels around. It opens up a whole new opportunity for lounging in this van. Look. It really makes this van even bigger and more comfortable on the inside. You could sit here all day. If it's raining, you've got your ventilation. You've got a place you can lay out, stretch your legs. You could sit on the bed. If you wanted to recline this up and do some reading there. I mean, you've got options. What have I always said? Options. So if you're interested in this van, I urge you to email me quickly, because history has shown that when I put up a used Humble Road van for sale, it sells very quickly, like within 24 hours quickly. So please, if you're interested, send me an email right away, georgemorrow@humbleroad.tv. I'll give you all the particulars. You can go to my website, humbleroad.tv. There's plenty of pictures there and there's more information there. I need to get back on that website and update it again. We've got a bunch of new vans that aren't up there. But anyway, I always have to digress, right?